So over the past 9 years or so, I've been able to communicate quite effectively with my higher self. Over the last 4 years, maybe 4 to 5 years, I learned the system to be able to connect with my higher self, but also to communicate with it and get accurate answers from my higher self. And since doing this, I would ask my higher self questions about the courses and programs that I'm creating. I would get guidance about what videos to create, my YouTube videos, the content that I'm putting out, and basically connecting in with the collective energy and just building rapport and a relationship with my higher self. On the other head of the spectrum, we have the lower self. And the lower self is basically your subconscious mind. And I'm going to be talking about that in just a sec. Basically what this video is going to be about is understanding the difference between your lower self and your higher self, but also understanding that your higher self actually wants your lower self to suffer. And there's a big reason for that, and I'm going to be explaining that in this video. And if you don't watch this video, you're literally going to cause more suffering in your life, and it's going to basically cause more problems and challenges and situations in your life. And this is how you overcome it totally and really start your ascension process in just raising your vibration and becoming that greatest version that we all are seeking and going after. Now, before we start this video, there's going to be a link in the description to get your free energy reading, where I'm going to be making a video directly for you, reading your energy and finding out what's blocking you from raising your vibration and getting to that next level, so you can manifest your wants, needs, and desires and really create the reality that you want in love, in relationships, in health, in fitness, in money, success, prosperity, in business. If you want to take things to the next level, then go ahead and get that free energy reading. And then you can find out a little bit more about how we can help you take your life and your business to the next level. So we can see on our planet that there are a lot of people that live from the lower self, or the ego, or the subconscious mind. And this function is out of alignment with the higher self. Now, when it comes to the higher self, I see the higher self as heaven, and I see the lower self as hell in a way. And so when we say things like Satan or Lucifer and all of these energies in, the Bible, which, by the way, I'm not religious, but we take these texts and I think a lot of it's interpreted in the wrong way. The lower self is what creates all the destruction, pain, war in the world, right? The higher self is complete, pure, unconditional love, and in the spiritual realm, that is all that exists. The only reason we have bad energies, negative energies, and all of this stuff is because of the ego, and the ego has been tampered with. The subconscious mind has been tampered with in such a way that we are all operating out of alignment with Source, or out of alignment with God, or out of alignment with our higher selves. And this is what exactly creates destruction in the world. And if we all learned that the higher self is actually showing us how to become more pure, our lives will completely change. And so this is why the higher self gives us tools, it gives us suffering, it gives us messages, it gives us challenges, it gives us the path to grow and expand and become a greater version of ourselves. But ultimately, the overall picture of what it's doing is teaching you how to become a better person, clearing the mind, purifying the mind, so that you are more alignment with Source or God or whatever name or label you want to put on it. What if I told you that you was born with infinite possibilities, infinite potentials, but then you learned to be less over time from when you were born, right? You learned low self-esteem, you learned not confident, you learned not being able to make a lot of money, you learned all of these things based on your environment, based on what your teachers taught you, based on what your parents taught you, based on your surroundings, right? All of these things have influenced your subconscious mind and basically your imprint on how you operate in this reality. So in a way, we are the blind leading the blind in a way. And so the reason this is happening is a majority of the population is not connecting in with the Most High, not connecting in with Source. Because I can tell you from my own personal experience, when you connect in with this stuff and you do it often, you can't help but change, right? you get the messages, you get the guidance. Now, I've personally been through a lot of challenges and a lot of suffering in my life. And I welcome pain. I see pain as love. I see it as one and the same. It's along the same pole, right? We live in a reality of duality and polarity, right? We have the opposites, right? Pain and pleasure, or pain or suffering and happiness, or whatever it is, right? These things are along the same pole. And so there's no one without the other. Like earlier, I done some exercise and I intentionally worked out my muscles, right? And that requires some level of pain or suffering to the muscles, tearing them apart so that they can rebuild even stronger. That's the way building muscle works. And so if you're wanting to lose weight, maybe you're going to have to do cardio, and maybe you don't like it. So there's some suffering, but there's an amazing polarity result to come out of that. You feel better in your body, you feel healthy, you live longer, you're less stressed, right? And so all of these things benefit from it. And so it's learning to utilize the pain. It's learning to utilize these lower frequencies to help us ascend into higher vibrational frequencies, because energy can't be created or destroyed. So we transmute the lower self into the higher self, or becoming a higher vibration and attuning our minds and our subconscious mind to be in alignment with Source, to be in alignment with God, and just becoming an overall greater person. So one of the things that the lower self does is it makes you want to stay in something that you're not happy in. Maybe that's a relationship, maybe that's a business, maybe that's a job or a career. It will make you feel like, hey, I need to stay in this job, I need to stay in this career because of the money, and I need security and all of this stuff. And I'm not saying to like leave your job or leave your husband or your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or anything like this. Obviously, you want to be strategic about that, right? You don't just want to, go ahead and do it. But the lower self will keep you stuck in something that you don't necessarily want to be in. The higher self knows. There's a part of you that knows you need to leave, you need to move on, you need to start something new, you need to grow, expand. 2021's on the way, right? And you got all these new ideas and goals and things you want to achieve. Maybe a part of you is worried about whether or not you should even set goals, because actually, we're in this scam-demic, right? And so your lower self is going to tell you all of these things. The negative voice in your head, worry, fear. What if this happens? What if I lose all my money? What if I never find anyone, right? I never find a relationship. I don't like being single. I don't like the system. I don't like the governments and all of this stuff. The lower self is going to come up with all of this stuff. The subconscious mind is going to come up with all of this stuff. But all of this stuff is conditioning. All of this stuff is not your true self. All of this stuff is a block from you being where you want to be. And the funny thing is, guess what? You staying in there actually creates more suffering. And so what I've experienced time and time again is the universe or God or your higher self, right, will keep on punching you in the face until you wake the up, right? You got to wake up and realize that you need to make a drastic change. It's not about making little changes here and there, blah, blah. No, you go and move to that new country that you want to move to. I know it's kind of hard now, but you go and do that thing that you really want to do. You go out, you go meet those new people, you go and become that greatest version that you want to do. Stop messing around, because I'm telling you right now, you will get to the point where you will get punched so freaking hard that you'll be like, why is the world like this? Why is reality like this? Why am I going through this? Why me? And you're wondering why you have all of this bad luck, right? The thing is you're just not listening to the messages. You're just not listening to the signs. And the deepest thing that I've seen about empaths, light workers, people who are working on themselves, becoming great at their greatest version, is that they're extremely afraid to be selfish. I know it sounds like a negative word, or it has a negative association towards it, But we as empaths don't realize that the more that we focus on ourselves and the more we focus on being as happy as we can be, it actually leads to more happiness, and it actually leads to helping more people, and it actually leads to more selflessness, right? You become a great giver. You might be a great giver already, but I know a lot of people, especially on the feminine side, the women are giving too far beyond what is balanced, right? And it's time to start receiving. It's time to start letting yourself have those opportunities of receiving love, money, success, abundance, happiness. You need to move on. You need to leave that relationship. You need to leave that person that's not making you happy anymore. Even if you're in a marriage, right? People are afraid to do this stuff. People are afraid to be selfish and move on with their lives and being happy. People are afraid of going for that new job, that career, eating healthy or whatever it is, going to the gym. Oh, people are going to look at me. I'm overweight and all this stuff. Excuses of the lower self. You can't allow the lower self to dictate your life. Otherwise, you're screwed because you're not listening to the science. A part of you is telling you, hey, I need to do this thing. But there's another part of you that's saying, hey, I shouldn't do this thing, or it's bad, or I'm selfish, or what if this happens and that happens? You got to trust. And that's the biggest thing and the biggest missing piece to a lot of people's success with the law of attraction, transforming their lives, is truly 100% trusting, but also being strategic about what you're doing. Okay, don't just trust and then just go do something. Be strategic, right? You got to apply the logic with the creative, the feminine with the masculine, right? The creative brain with the logical brain, right? You got an idea, you got a download, you got an intuition or something that you need to do, right? Your third eye's popping off. I need to go ahead and do this thing, right? Now you need practical application in order to achieve set result, right? Now, things can manifest in a multitude of different ways, and be open to those different things. But you want to have some sort of a plan or a structure to get you set result, whether that's losing weight, making more money, having more success, moving on in your relationship or whatever it is, because you can make it happen. Your higher self is always guiding you. It's never going to let you down. And that's what you need to trust 100%. But most people, guess what? They're afraid of that. They're totally 100% afraid of that. And they stay stuck where they're at for months, sometimes years, sometimes multitude decades, right? And they're just unhappy. And I see it time and time again. And it's time to make a change. 2021 is here. We just went through a big awakening with a great conjunction. Now is the time. Please do not mess around. This is your time. This is your chance. It's the new year coming, and you want to be setting goals and intentions to grow and expand and become a greatest version of yourself through the divine, not through the ego lower self, right? You want to be getting those downloads. You want to be participating in some sort of meditation where you're receiving, right? Where you're downloading the information, right? From source, right? Downloading the information from source, interpreting it with your third eye, right? The vision, the intuition, right? You're interpreting it with the third eye, right? It comes down to the throat chakra, which is to do with communication, because everything is connected through communication. If there's no communication in our reality, there is no reality, right? You wouldn't even be able to hear me right now. You wouldn't be able to see me right now, because your eyes are communicating to the back of your brain, and the back of your brain is interpreting these images, and you're, exactly, right? So there's a lot going on. Every single thing is communication. And so the downloads need to be communicated, right? Throat chakra. Also the listening, right? The throat chakra. The heart chakra, adding that feminine energy, adding love to your manifestations, your path, the guides, whatever it is. The heart is going to go ahead and amplify, give electricity, powerful frequencies to the intention that's coming through you. The solar plex is going to add the confidence, the esteem, the will, even the ego, because the solar plex is the ego, right? And this is what will get you to take action on the vision that you are having. The sacral chakra, dealing with the sexual energy in the family dynamic. Adding the sexual energy is now impregnating the thoughts and the beliefs or the downloads that you're getting, right? And so it's adding fuel to the fire, right? All right, we're adding that sexual chemistry, and we're creating a new life within the sacral chakra, right? And guess what happens next? It goes down to the root chakra, which deals with this reality. I mean, the three lower chakras, the solar plex, the sacral, and the root chakra deal with this reality. But the root chakra deals with your platform. It deals with your house you're living in, the money. The sacral has to do with the money as well. The root chakra has to do with your money, your survival, right? Your food, your shelter, all right? And so, and it deals with your manifestations, bringing things from the Most High into this world, all right? And so you want to be connecting in with the divine next year. You want to be doing your meditation, getting those downloads, and not ego-based manifestations. You want to create conscious manifestations, right? Ego-based manifestations, they're great. And I do them all the time. But majority of your work should be connecting in with your higher self, with the Most High, and working with the universe rather than against the universe, like the megalomaniacs, like the sociopaths, like the narcissists, like the governments that are controlling this world, right? You don't want to be following what they do. You want to be doing the total opposite, right? This is spiritual warfare, and you want to understand how to win the game, right? This is the game of life. You want to understand how to win the game of life? Tune in with the Most High, God, Jesus, Allah, whatever name, label, universe, the cosmos, whatever name or label you want to put on it, right? You want to connect in and have the information come through you as if you are a tool, a vessel for greatness, right? Because you are a part of this. You've come here for a reason, and it's more than you believe. Your success is beyond your current level of belief. You can achieve and attain much more than you think. And so when you're manifesting and you're creating the things that you want in your life, say, I want this or something better, right? I want to create this or something better. Be open to the multitudes of ways that things can happen for you. So what I want to do is get your free reading, your free energy reading, or your free manifestation diagnosis session. There'll be a link in the description or the pin cards where you can go ahead and claim that, where I'll be making a customized video just for you to basically find out where your energy is at, what vibrational frequency you're resonating at, and how to ascend to that next level so you can truly manifest your wildest dreams. More money, more success, more material success, more spiritual success, relationship success, more health. Whatever it is you want to manifest into your life, you need to raise your vibration and change your default mechanism. So if you want to find out where you're resonating at and you want to resonate at a higher frequency, I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit more about that in the reading. Okay, so go ahead and click the link in the description or the pinned cards. Please let me know your thoughts on this and give the video a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. I really appreciate you watching and supporting the channel. Watch this video over here on the Great Conjunction, and remember to keep learning, keep growing, keep expanding, and I'll speak to you soon. Peace.